Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a really classic story called The Dog and the Shadow. Now, this is a fable that's been around for centuries, but trust me, its message about human nature, well, it might be more relevant right now than ever before. So, let's just start with the big question, right? What can a story about a greedy dog possibly teach us about our own lives and the choices we make? It sounds a little strange, I know, but this simple tale kind of holds up a mirror to how we act today. All right, let's set the scene. Our story starts with just two things: a dog who's feeling pretty good about himself, and his awesome prize, a big, juicy bone. So picture this: a dog, he's got this amazing bone. He's happy, he's proud, and he's just trotting along a little bridge over a nice, calm river carrying his treasure. Life is good for this dog. As he's walking, he happens to glance down into the stream, and he sees something looking back at him, his own reflection. And right here, this is the moment where everything starts to change. Now, we know what he saw, right? It was just his reflection. But this story isn't about physics, it's about perception. What did his greedy little heart tell him he was seeing down there? And there it is, the big mistake. He didn't see himself. Oh no. Instead, his desire created this illusion. Another dog who, in his mind, had a bone that was way bigger and way better than his. His envy completely twisted what he was seeing. Okay, so now we're going to see how this little misunderstanding snowballs into a really, really costly mistake. This is where his bad idea turns into a bad action, with consequences he can't take back. So, totally driven by greed, he decides he wants that other bone. He's going to get it. So he opens his mouth and lets out a big, mean bark at the dog in the water, thinking he'll scare him off and snatch that bigger prize. And you guessed it, the second he opened his mouth to bark, his own bone, the real one, the one he actually had, plops right out, splashes into the river, and is gone for good. By trying to grab more, he lost everything. So what's the whole point of this little sad story? Well, like all fables, it's designed to boil down a really complicated human weakness into one simple, powerful lesson. Let's get right to it. The moral is so simple it almost hurts. Don't be greedy. The dog's desire for an imaginary prize made him lose the real one he already had. This isn't just about wanting stuff, though. Think about it. In a world of social media, we're constantly looking at reflections of other people's lives that seem so much bigger and better than our own, right? Now, to really get a handle on this whole idea of what's real versus what we think is real, it helps to look at the words the story uses. So let's quickly break down some of the key terms that make this fable work. Here are the core words from the story. If you want to review them, feel free to just hit pause right here. But we're going to zero in on the one key phrase that really sums up the whole thing. And that, of course, is our expression of the day. Don't be greedy. It's pretty straightforward, right? It's advice you'd give someone to warn them not to want more than their fair share, and a good reminder to appreciate what you've actually got. All right, to make sure all of this really sinks in, let's wrap up with a quick final challenge so you can put it into practice yourself. Here's what I want you to do. Try to write 2 sentences using the words we just looked at. Maybe you can connect the reflection in the river to the greedy choice the dog made. It's a really good way to lock in the lesson. And as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with this one last thing to think about. The dog lost a real thing because he was chasing a distorted image. So ask yourself, what bigger bone in your life, that thing you're chasing so hard, might just be a reflection? It's a pretty powerful question. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.